mental health wellness. As Mental Health Month, we support
inform motorists of upcoming road construction work and warnings for event traffic. Public Works has either borrowed message boards from MnDOT when available or paid to rent them on construction projects at a cost of about $100 per sign per day, and this is a budgeted purchase.
What is the life on these?
About 20 years.
Okay.
$5 plus the taxes and fees. $5 plus the taxes and fees. A second quote was received from LMP Supply of Hutchinson for $6,961 plus taxes and fees. This trailer will replace a 10-foot aluminum trailer that Parks currently has. This will allow us to transport 2 lawnmowers instead of 1, allowing us to more efficiently mow our parks around the county. We also received quotes from R&R Excavating of Hutchinson at $27,238 and William Mueller and Sons from Hamburg, Minnesota for $1,238 and William Mueller and Sons from Hamburg, Minnesota for $33,961.75. This is to cap the surface on the east parking lot that we expanded last year with the buildings from the 115 project.
The finishing touch on a project of that east parking lot. If you remember last year, we ran a lot of new electrical through there, so we wanted a lot of those, that ground to heal after that before we put this top coat on. So this is the last step of a long-range plan to be able to use more space at the fairgrounds, because our next ops.
Andrew, I'm gonna pause you here, okay?
Thank you.
All right. We're gonna
Our next ops.
Andrew, I'm gonna pause you here, okay?
Thank you.
All right. We're gonna go back to item 6 on the agenda, which is the public hearing. We need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is a public hearing regarding
2025. So during that April 16 meeting, and we'll have a motion in a bit. So during that April 16 meeting, and we'll have a motion in a bit here to approve orders. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Item B, considering the proceedings from April 16th, is there a motion?
Item C is the discussion of the findings in order of County Ditch 12A. So I will read by landowners over the function of CD 12A. The board directed its engineer to prepare a report of the drainage system wrecked under a box culvert crossing on the TC&W Railroad. This alternative, though desired by some of the benefited landowners, is not essential to the repair of the minutes of the hearing are incorporated herein by reference. Based on the repair report, the engineer's recommendation, and the evidence presented, the board finds that the engineer's priorities 1 through eliminate obstructions, reestablish grade, or make the drainage system efficient. Regarding which states bridges and culverts on public roads required by the construction or drainage project or system from the drainage system funds. Therefore, based on the foregoing findings, the board makes the following, and now is the order. The Drainage Authority shall proceed system funds. The board will follow the processes outlined in statute section 103E.525 regarding and cost allocation crossing or deferring replacement until a crossing has reached the end of its service life at the township's sole expense. The board directs the preparation of an alternative bid package culvert under contracts, assessment of repair costs, financing, and terms of repayment. The Drainage Authority directs its staff to continue to pursue additional outside funding for the work proposed.
Or are still left open in the orders. So I have no issues with it.
Very good.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
so basically this is just what we talked about at the meeting, put into a formal document. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Anything from the board or the public? Otherwise, we do have an action item before us.
Over time, cleaning's done, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And all of a sudden, culverts are obviously higher than what it would have probably been originally. So I have a hard time determining how else we understand how the depth of the original ditch would have been, other than by where those are. So by replacing them, I don't think that should necessarily be on the township having to do it. since it's, the ditch has been deepened all along and screwed it all up as far as what we're looking at. And I don't believe that that's quite what it should be. It should be more of a repair as far as than in the replacement. So on,
The statute or the ditch law puts it under transportation or townships. I mean, we don't do that, or even the ditch system doesn't do that. I don't know if you have any comments, Ryan, on how that actually works, and it was left open for that because that one was only 5 years old, it was left open to prorate it back, and yes, it is taxpayer money that pays for it. Or, actually, it's, in the township's case, it's the township whatever the water.
He has constructed and
to go to the Buffalo Creek watershed, get a permit to replace it in there.
To his comments, I think it was brought up at that meeting, that when the engineering firm looked at to what depth there to clean the ditch, that there wasn't really top of the silt instead of the clay to set some of those, but over time, we are finding that a number of these crossings just aren't as deep as they should be. The unfortunate thing with territory across share of the ditch, cost share from the ditch system, so I guess that's kind of where we're at. But I just wanted to bring it.
Height or depth, so we have to come up, these arguments, like Commissioner Wright just said, come up.
I guess, Commissioner Kruger, do you have any comment to that with your history
No,
with the
other
project?
I mean, I'm as concerned, I find some findings. If those findings would have been available when you set the.
That is my understanding.
Okay.
Been left, or
I think they do it at their own expense. Usually, so,
All right.
thank you.
If I'm keeping track of it, which is a crapshoot, item E.
All right, consider approving a request for bids for the demolition of Marion Park and Piepenburg Park.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Consider approving a temporary to convert the 7.5 acres of void space at Lake Marion Park to native prairie. The project contracts with Prairie Restorations, Inc. to handle the full transition over a 3-year span. The total cost.
This land wasn't taxable to begin with, so I mean, it's a no-brainer to go through with it.
And, finding $50,000 to put towards this project. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any further discussion?
Just throw one more comment. If this is successful, that relieves 7.5 acres of continuous.
Payment of $115,931 from Minnesota County's Intergovernmental Trust has been received, less the recoverable depreciation. Staff have reviewed, approved by insurance and recommend completing. I think approved by insurance and recommend completing. In working with Rice in the past, I feel very comfortable with their ability to perform at the price that they offered. Some of the other ones didn't have a lot of communication with us on those quotes, so I don't know if they were building a little bit of a buffer in why they were so much higher. But other than that, I can't really offer a lot to that. Why they were so much higher, but other than that, I can't really offer a lot to that.
Thank you, John.
Correct.
So I'm good with that, thank you.
Correct.
So I'm good with that, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
some previous history that I've had with insurance claims, this doesn't really seem that unreasonable to have the huge gaps in costs. Some
$36 per month. $36 per month.
I'll move to approve. Is there a
County program, and Carver County residents can use the McLeod County program. We bill each other back the cost that we incur per house. So we do get that from Carver County use our program. So I mean, it's a small amount, but it allows, especially residents along the border. It's a small amount, but it allows, especially residents along the border, to have that.
How do how do you keep track of that? I mean,
Sure, that's a great question. We actually use a database software.
Kruger, any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I get, it's a good place to start. I mean, with logistics today, people, if we're, as long as we're not, as long.
June 9th.
The have an association, the liberty to say tornado. There were several injuries.
After the last meeting on Wednesday, I was also at the after the last meeting on Wednesday, I was also at the CD12 hearing. Thursday, the 24th, I attended UCAP via Zoom. And yesterday, I attended the Supporting Hands in Olivia. Both of those committees, you know, the top priority, it seems to be funding right now, whether they're gonna be getting it. But it seems that things are changing. I saw.
Prior to that, a fleeing in a motor vehicle, which is an occurrence that we still continue to see all too often. So we have been prosecuting those, and then a financial transaction card fraud as well. So I know sometimes I mention more of the higher severity level cases, but I do just want to point out that our office continues.
Discussion on what the official day was, but it's really immaterial, but I think it changed, at least from my era, people changed the US dramatically, probably forever. Thank you.
Thank you. Sheila?
Thank you. Item A, consider approving renewal of the annual service agreement with Safe Assure Consultants for
Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That increase was $142.21 from the previous year. Item B, consider approving and renewing the annual service agreement with Safe Assure Consultants.
I've learned for now, at least for a couple seconds, I'm not sure if any of the other commissioners want to comment on it or not, but mainly I want to make sure that everybody's aware that we're working hard to pay very close attention to these.
We can to keep our levy.
Motion versus, or some other vehicle, but at this time, I think what we really need to do as the public is to be concerned about now for the community to talk to your state legislators, or if you have a personal relationship with a state.